Okay, peeps. I got murder on the other side of this. Oh, I had to stretch, sorry. That felt good. So anyway, we are starting off today's talking about Bitcoin mining. This is going to be probably a small series. We're going to, hit on one thing here, hit on another thing here, hit on another thing here, in the next coming couple of weeks. We're going to be doing our own testings and finding our own findings on things, and then putting it back to you guys, letting you know these are the results. And the results are never the same for any two people. Hey, Scorp. And so that's what me and Murder are looking into doing for this next few weeks. Oh yeah, get hosted. Oh, my eyeballs. Alright, one second. Got my window screen messed up. Alright, so, Murder and I were both talking before the show, just so that we were both on the same page when it comes to, the informations and what we see, what we don't see, things of the sort. I'm going to hit it off first by saying I tried Bitcoin mining a long time ago. Back when Bitcoin mining was like the first thing ever, and then you had all the different cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin being the big guy, and everybody else just being, the stepchildren of things. So anyway, I gave it a shot, and it almost killed my CPU. And then I read somewhere where you can use your GPU. So then, at the time, I had a 650 Ti, GTX 650 Ti I was running it with. And you want to talk about a fan making some noises because of the heat that was coming off of that damn thing. It was ridiculous. It really, really was. I did it for a little bit. I found that the groups of people in the forums and, in the IRCs, there's a lot of IRCs out there. They're very helpful. They really are very helpful. They give you a lot of information. If you need help with something, they're willing to help out. It's not a very toxic thing like, certain games are toxic. Rust. But they help out. And I do know Murder just mentioned that he has a Raspberry Pi at home. And I have an extra GPU sitting here at the house, and I think I've got a bare bones system sitting somewhere back there that all you really need is the software and a GPU. And you can run it with Windows, Linux, or Apple. Yes, Rust and Xbox community, yes. They're very toxic. But, in all fairness, it depends on the games. It's the games in those communities, though, too. So every community has their toxic communities. Crafter. Talking about toxic. Just kidding, buddy. Anyway, Murder. Is that something that, you're definitely going to try this week, is try to see if you can get something going with your Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, I think I am. Let's see what a single one will do on its own. Just kind of curious.
I mean, and in all honesty, the one that seems to be working better than most, as far as the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is concerned is the Ethereum. Ethereum is sort of your big boy right now with the amount of hash power that you need with power consumption equaling a better payout than, say, Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is worth a lot more per coin. In fact, the Bitcoin right now is worth $15,472.43 as of right now for one Bitcoin. And one Ethereum coin is $438.89. But in essence, it's supposedly a little easier to get than the Bitcoin because it doesn't take as much to decrypt it and, all those little things that we'll be talking about, in other shows and stuff. But right now, we're just going to talk about software and hardware, and then we're going to talk about the hacking of, or the attempts of hacking of, and then kind of moving on from there for this week. Kuga.
Yeah, next week, for anybody who is interested, we're going to do a how-to. I'm pretty sure we'll go with, cheap end how-to and more expensive how-tos for anybody who is interested in actually setting up and trying to mine some Bitcoins.
And with that being said, when it comes to the hardware, they have some you can go to Amazon and just Google, or Amazon, Google, yeah, okay. Go to Amazon and search for Bitcoin mining, or what they call ant miners. There's a couple of different ones of those in there. They range in price from $480 up to $2,000. Yes, it is illegal in a lot of the Asia area.
It's a good thing I don't live in Singapore.
Yeah, I know, right, Kuga?
Kuga, you should move.
So anyway, there are many different types of Bitcoin miners, and like I said, we're going to go and we're going to do our initial analysis of what we have here at home to start the Bitcoin mining. And then we're going to go into how easy it was to set it up, or how hard was it to set it up from scratch with what we have here at home. You can't do it in China. China has said no.
I think a lot of countries don't like it because it is an uncontrolled currency.
No government controls Bitcoins. The community itself basically says this is how much it's worth.
Well, not necessarily the government. There's no bank or administration that runs Bitcoin. Yeah. So a lot of countries don't like the fact it's uncontrollable free money, and a lot of countries don't like that.
So when we go about next week talking about what we found, when we talk about software, we're going to hit on software. We're also going to hit on hardware, and there are going to be two different talks. We might do them at the same time, or we might do one week and one the next week, depending on how in detail they do get for each one of us. And like I said, Murder's going to have his way, I'm going to have my way, and then we're going to go from there. And
yeah, I'm just, for a heads up for people, if y'all want to start looking into it, during the week, as we will be, I am going the Raspberry Pi route. If nobody knows what a Raspberry Pi is, I'll post a link in just a minute. They're actually pretty cheap, but that's going to be my route. I'm going to look into setting up a Raspberry Pi Bitcoin miner, and I think, Grim, you're doing the GPU version. Yeah, GPU version.
I put my Santa hat on. I forgot to put it on. Santa Grim has arrived. But yeah, we're gonna do two different ways, and he's gonna see how easy it is for him to set his way up. I'm gonna see how easy it is for me to set my way up. Obviously, we're gonna be talking with each other. If somebody has any questions or anything, you can hit us up in the Discord channels, whether it's in Murders or my own. If you guys are in either one, hit us up, and we can put your feedback in with our feedback type thing as well, and say, okay, well, here, Kuga said this, and Scorpio said this. We can then go about that if you don't want to actually come onto the show and give us your first impressions on how it was to set it up and all of that. So, with that being said, we're going to move to the software section. Now, when it comes to the software, you do have to set up a Bitcoin account, or else you will not be paid for doing what you're doing. And that Bitcoin account, and I know for a fact because I had one, you lose your password and you lose your security key for it. That's it. You cannot get back into it. There's no help, no tech support, no nothing. So if you got Bitcoin, you better safeguard that, or else you're going to lose it. There is no help desk. There are many different types of software. There are Bitcoin wallet softwares. This is for, holding your actual private keys for your Bitcoins or your whatever coins you are gathering. Is one's called Bread Wallet, one's called Copay, and the other one's called Armory. Now, I used Bread Wallet for my first one, and I believe I still have my information for it. But if I don't, oh well, I gotta start all over again. Now, for Bitcoin trading, there is Kraken and Local Bitcoins. Those are two that you'll use if you want to trade your Bitcoins for cash, or if you want to buy Bitcoins for cash. So you want either one way or the other. You go to those two places. Those are what is recommended by the BitcoinMining.com community. Now, software, like I said before, you have Windows, Linux, and Mac. Now, I'm going to say that Linux is going to use less resources because it doesn't have all the background crap running as like Windows does. So I think that will help keep the cost down. Now, as far as an Apple's concerned, I just tucked it out the window because, it's an Apple. And I see a bunch of you all out there jumping out the window trying to grab it. There are many different, yes, some people like them, and they're wrong, I know.
Nobody likes Apple. They just pretend they do.
Right? Okay, so there are many different types of software. Some of the examples that are given here are Mine Peon, Easy Miner, which is one that I didn't use Easy Miner. I used CG Miner for the one I was using for the GPU setup. Easy Miner uses mostly all your CPU. The BFG uses GPU or CPU or ASIC or FPGAs. Now the ASIC or the ASIC is basically the little sticks that goes into the Raspberry Pis. It's those little sticks that go in there and use those for the mining and stuff of the sort. Yeah, all those apples already have bytes taken out of them. You want to know why? It's to remind men that, women are tempters, and they will give you that bitten apple and say, I did it, it's good. Here, you do it. And we listen. There's a lot of applications that can be used. It's just whatever you find is going to work best for you is one you're going to use. Now, I know, Murder, you said you're going to be running your Raspberry Pi, and when you're running the Raspberry Pi, you've got all the extra little bits, so you already know what you're going to need on your end, right? Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I guess, he's going to keep track of what actual software he's going to use. I'll keep track of what actual software I'm going to use. And I'm sure we're going to look at all of them and see which one's going to be best, and then we can rate them 1 to 5, top 5 that we find is going to be easiest, or whatever. We'll figure that out, and we'll get back with you guys on that one. But I think that this is going to be, like I said, something that's going to be good. Get some more information out there for you guys that's actual, true, we did it, this is what we got, and this is working or this is not working. Okay? So, there is a cryptocurrency comparing that you can do, and there's a cryptocompare.com, and it kind of, gives you a breakdown of the cost per kilowatt hour, the power consumption that you'll be using, and then the hashing that you'll be using as well. Whether you're using gigahashes or megahashes or just regular hashes, it just depends on what you're doing. Because you got hash per second, kilohashes per second, a megahash per second, gigahash per second, and then terahash per second. And depending on which one you use, depends on, obviously, how fast your rig is going to be going in and processing how much you're going to be processing of a particular hashing to find that Bitcoin. Now, we're going to talk about hacking the Bitcoin exchange. Right now on the Bitcoinist.com, they have an article that states from December 10th at 5:45 a.m. this was published, so just this morning, North Korea and Kim Jong-un are unleashing hackers against Bitcoin exchanges. I'm not going to wish them good luck, because it has already been said that the Bitcoin exchange was hacked. When was this? Last week? I think it was. Somebody said that it had been hacked. They didn't do it, but somebody said it had been hacked, and all these cryptocurrencies have been lost. Nobody can get them back. Oops. That's all I can say. But, anyway, North Korea says they're going to use their security experts, and they're going to target the Bitcoin exchanges due to the digital currency's increased demand, which you can go into a car dealership, and you can actually use Bitcoins at a car dealership and buy a car using Bitcoins. Oh, what a world we live in. The article goes to saying that North Korea used to focus their cyber espionage on traditional state activities. That all began to change in 2016 when the cybersecurity company FireEye began to note that North Korea began to target banks and the global financial system. 2017 has seen several attacks against South Korean cryptocurrency exchanges, and this activity has since spread to banking groups in Europe, and South Korea, Bitcoin exchanges, and even an ATM company. Now, an independent security expert, Ashley Sheen, noted that we assume one of the reasons why Bitcoin is being attacked is because the price keeps increasing, and we think it's reasonable for hackers to target digital currency. Might be easier to gain than physical currency, so I think it is reasonable. And that's her words, not mine. Security experts have followed attacks by various hacking groups such as Andriel, Lazarus, and Blue Nora. Wow, Blue Nora. And these groups are suspected to be front groups for North Korea. I'm going to have to say that this next part here is the only reason why they're trying to get into it is because North Korea does need money. They are bleeding themselves trying to become one of the biggest superpowers here in the world. And
which will never happen.
But that's going to be going into getting political, and that we will not be doing. I will say that North Korea is desperate. That's the only reason why they're doing this. And if they want to keep a foothold, they are going to need some major, major breakthroughs in order to get there. So, like I said, I'm not going to wish them good luck.
All I got to say is, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Oh. You can be my wingman any day. Okay, next we're going to talk about how the Bitcoin set another record on December 8th. But just after it set the record, it lost almost 18%. One second, Kuga, I will get with that question as soon as I hit this real quick. Now, on Wednesday, December 6th, the Bitcoin surged over $12,000 per coin. And the Bitcoin on Friday morning at 6:30 in the morning has gone up to $14,000. And what was it here? Thursday, it went up to $19,340 for one. I got you, Duga. So, you're seeing a fluctuation within the Bitcoin. Now, the day that you sell that Bitcoin, selling it on a high and getting it on a low is, not easy to track, like most stock markets are. So when you're buying and selling stock markets, it's a lot easier to know when to buy and when to sell versus Bitcoins and things of the sort. So needless to say, dropping to 14,000 after being at 19,000, that's $5,000 in just one day. Per coin. Now, Kuga says, serious questions. Do you two recommend cryptocurrency mining in Singapore when all electronics are at least 50% more expensive than the U.S. counterparts, and electric bills are at least 100% more expensive? And if recommended, taking the volatile nature of cryptocurrency, is it still recommended?
Well, you said it's illegal in Singapore, so you can't do it anyway, right?
That would be the first reason why not to do it.
So therefore, I wouldn't recommend doing it.
Now, if it was legal, straight up legal in Singapore, electronics are 50% more expensive and your electric bills are at least 100% more expensive. That is, in my opinion, because of the cost of the dollar here versus the cost of the dollar there, and then when you got the exchange of, and however money is exchanged, that's going to make it a little bit more, seem to be more expensive. That's why I said seem. I really don't know exactly how that all, comes into play. He says it is not legal, or illegal, it's just the electric bills. And he calculated it once and thrown the idea out of his head. Okay, so you calculate everything in US dollars. Well, I'm sure that in Singapore, because electric is more expensive, it just depends on the area. Because I know here in the States, depending on where you live, depends on how expensive electric is. Now, you can go just north of where I live here, and with Lakuchi Power is cheaper than having Duke Energy, which is right here where we're at, which is from the Carolinas. And Duke Energy, it just goes out there and just takes the barbed wire fence post and ramps it up your rear end and says you're going to have to take it no matter what. And, it just depends on where you live when it comes to the electric and the cost of electricity. Like right now, our normal bill was $350. So that's pretty damn expensive. And like I said, it just depends on where you live. It depends on your house. It depends on, all kinds of factors when it comes to that. Now, if you can create a machine that uses very little power, but still runs mega hashes per second, and you can maintain, say, 50 to 60 or even 100 mega hashes at 650 watts for the month on the little calculator there, you might end up coming out on top, or at least being able to pay the electric bill in whole. That's one bill you wouldn't have to pay because the money you're making off of your cryptocurrency pays your electric bill. So you got to look at it like that. Now, did you place the crypto compare in chat already? Okay. CryptoCompare.com. If you go to the CryptoCompare.com, Sergio's going to put the link in chat. You will be able to put in what your cost per kilowatt hours is. Then you'll be able to put in your power consumption. And then once you put in your power consumption, then you put in how much power are you going to dedicate to your hashing. Are you going to do 2 mega hashes? 1 kilo hash? It just all depends. You can kind of figure out from there what kind of money you're going to end up making, whether you're Bitcoin mining, Ethereum coin mining, there's just all of the different ones. Litecoin, I think, is like the little brother of Bitcoins when it comes to Bitcoin mining. But it just depends on what you're going to put into it. Depends on how much you get out. Now, there's people out there who are using warehouses for Bitcoin mining machines. They're out there mining with warehouses full of these machines that are doing nothing but Bitcoin mining.
So, just real quick, kind of off the top of someone else's head, I was just asked by someone in my house, looking at the Crypto Compare website, it says buy now. You can buy this electronic currency. So I was asked, why would you want to buy it? Wouldn't you want to get it yourself and sell it? True, you would want to get it yourself and sell it. You make money. But if you think about it, buying it is kind of like playing the stock market. Buy some, hold on to it, hope the price goes up. Sell out at a higher price, which isn't a bad idea if you have the money to buy one. If y'all pull up the Crypto Compare website, those that haven't, go ahead and pull that up. Look at the top of it. You've got 4 different currencies up there. I mean, the cheapest one's $2.99 per quote unquote coin.
The Litecoin is $148 per coin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not showing a Litecoin in the top 4 boxes for me. But yeah, I mean, that's no different than playing the stock market, really.
No, it's not.
I would almost guess. I haven't tracked these different currencies, electronic currencies before, but I'm willing to bet you have a better chance at coming out positive with these than you do the stock market.
Yes. Now, you could go through and say you buy up $1,000 worth of Litecoins at the beginning of the month. Midway through the month, you notice it goes up $12. And you sell it out with $12 per one. That's 1,000 times 12. You just made a shit ton of money. Right? I mean, it really boils down to what investments and what kind of patience you have. Because if you ain't got the patience for it, it ain't going to be worth your time. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is an investment that's in for the long run. So, I would say always do your research, and when you're done, do more. Never settle for the first or second or third bit of information that you find. Keep looking at information and consistently keep looking and seeing where where the currency is at, where it's going to be at. Look at the different types of currency, cryptocurrencies, because each one is different. They're not the same. Okay? Alright, so we're going to go back to... Well, thank you. Now, we are going to go back to talking about what we had said before about net neutrality. Now, the FCC is still going to go ahead with, even against the majority telling them, stop before you make things worse. They're going to go forward with the repeal and the vote for the repeal. And it's been said many, many times what's going to happen. Certain businesses are going to start cutting packages apart, saying, if you want to run at this speed or you want to reach these different sites, then it's just going to be like cable. You're going to have these particular sites you can go to for $19.99 a month. And for $5 more, you get one more place. You get Netflix. But then you got to turn around and pay Netflix as well. So you're basically double dipping into that. And all of this is through TechCrunch.com. This was written by David Gorodyansky. Sorry, David, if you ever see this, man. I butchered that last name. But anyway, you're going to see a lot of them not allowing the apps to be used on your phone. They're going to cut those apps out. Yes, DLC-filled games with monthly subscriptions. You're just gonna, it's really gonna, not only in the gaming, we're talking just in general, the internet is gonna go back to the days of, it costs you X amount to be on the internet for X amount of minutes on your dial-up. And as soon as you go over that, boom, they shut you down. Or they automatically add that onto your phone bill and say, oh, well, you went over by 2 minutes. It's $1,000. So, loose hairs. I'm shedding. Here's one. After spending 12 years running a company that helps millions of people break through the barriers of censorship imposed by oppressive governments, I am quite familiar with the ramifications of such repressions. When a country lacks an open internet, the government, and companies friendly with said government, are able to do anything from simply blocking or banning apps entirely, as in Facebook, Twitter, Skype, WhatsApps, for censorship or economic reasons, to more aggressive moves such as Egypt's effective shutdown of their internet service providers. Yeah, more than likely, yes, you are correct, Buddha. But, now, at the time of this guy writing this, which was posted yesterday by him, he wrote on there, out of the top 50 last year, talking about companies, the top 10 included AT&T, Comcast, Verizon, T-Mobile, NCTA, and he only listed 5, so he says 10, but he only listed 5. Anyway, T-Mobile, he said, pledged $8 million to help destroy net neutrality last year. There was a letter put out by the CEO and president of T-Mobile, John Lee Gear, and he stated that they are not going to be increasing, but making their prices kind of set as is. Like right now, search EMI phones that we have through T-Mobile for CNG Tech is $100. And then we add in the cost of our insurance plan is $18 for the 2 phones. So it's $118 a month. Our bill is going to stay that once net neutrality is repealed and all these other companies start doing what they're going to do with everything. I mean, AT&T says they're going to do it. Verizon's going to do it. And I mean, look who's the head of FCC is a former Verizon lawyer. So you know he knows the ins and outs of what's going to happen and how much people are going to end up having to pay out of their own pockets and how many small businesses are going to go under because they can't compete. But all these companies are going to start making it that T-Mobile is going to get their business. It's that simple. People are going to leave saying, why should we pay you all this money when we can go over here to T-Mobile and pay them one flat fee and we're good and we have a Wi-Fi hotspot. We're going to hook our computers up to it. We're going to use our Wi-Fi hotspots because we have unlimited internet. Well, not going to cost us anything extra. You're going to start seeing that happening.
The hotspot reduces speed after 10 gigs.
That's if you have the 10, 2, or 6 gig plans. If you have an unlimited plan, they do not throttle it back.
They do for the hotspot.
I never had them do mine.
Yep, look it up. They've changed it. It's the hotspot is 10 gigs, and then they slow you down. Your mobile device, just your mobile internet, is unlimited once you hit, if you hit, which they've said is a very, 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 very small percentage of the country. If you actually hit 50 gigs, then your priority for whatever tower you're connected to is lowered, not your speed. Your priority level, so people who haven't hit 50 gigs are going to have access to the 4G LTE before anybody who has hit 50 gigs. But the hotspot, though, is 10 gigs, and they slow it down. I asked them about it when we switched our plan.
But when we got ours, the guy, the woman we dealt with, she said we'll never hit it, but I've got 3 kids. We'll hit it. Or they'll find it a challenge, though.
Hit the what, 50 gigs or the 10 gigs for the hotspot?
Either.
Oh, I told my daughter, because she was like, 50 gigs, my youngest one. She's like, that's all? I looked at her, I was like, look, I'll make you a deal. I was like, if at any point you hit 50, if you are able to hit 50 gigs, I will pay you $20. And I shook her hand. I said, I'll make this an official deal. Shook her hand. Said $20 if you alone can hit 50 gigs on your phone in a single month. She ain't gonna do it. Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah.
Because of all their, which is part of what we're going to talk about too. All of their free streaming service that's included. You're not gonna hit 50 gigs.
I mean, they're including Hulu and Netflix in with their packages. I mean, seriously, come on, people, just think about it. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, but Kuga, think about it though. You hit 50 gigs, all they're doing is going to slow you down. That's it. They're just going to slow you down. You still have your internet. You still have your Wi-Fi hotspot. You still have it. It's not going to be taken away. It's not going to be charged you anything extra. It's still there. So T-Mobile, with their business plan that they have situated right now, with this particular, what they call binge on settings, or not settings, but this binged on, setup, they're going to dominate the market, and these people are going to leave AT&T, Verizon, Sprint. They're going to leave them, and they're going to go to T-Mobile. I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. Now, here you wrote, I might be wrong, but there are loads of things people actually miss out. It's not only about paying more for internet. Imagine the amount of money companies have to pay on the net when it's approved. That means increasing the price of everyday products, and in turn, it will be a very vicious cycle. Then I meant advertising, by the way. It could be, but I know that companies like CNG Technological Solutions, it's internet-based. You know, the amount of money that we would have to put out versus the amount of money that we get in. And right now, we've got one customer who we're doing a website for who still owes us $1,000 before we can even go on with anything else on their website. Before we can actually hand them the keys and say, here you go. You're driving it now. But for us to keep going onto the internet, it's going to cost us even more money coming out of our pockets. And when you said it's, you know, as far as, you know, the companies being charged, small companies like us will go to the wayside. This isn't going to open up the market for other companies and small businesses to grow. It will not do it. So, that being said, I am so against the repeal. We've sent letters to our congressman. Anybody here in the States, you can send it to our congressman as well, or your congressman that's in your district, your senators, call them. Let them know that you are not happy with this, and, you know, tell them to vote against it. And I mean, if enough people say that, you know, if you don't vote against it, this repeal, you're not going to get elected next time. Enough people say that, enough people actually mean it, they might get off their asses and do something. Now, murder. Question. How happy are you with T-Mobile right now? As it stands right now, before anything else, how happy are you with T-Mobile?
How happy am I with them right now? Or since I've had them?
Well, I mean, you know, you've had other cell phone companies, right? Before. And in comparison, as of right now, is AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, where are they at in comparison to where you're at right now with T-Mobile?
Well, I decided a long time ago that I wasn't going to leave T-Mobile. I had T-Mobile. Oh my God. It's back before smartphones.
Yeah,
I had T-Mobile long
well, see,
time
I had
ago, dude.
Sprint. Well, I didn't have Sprint first. I had Nextel. Or it was Nortel first, wasn't it? And then it became Nextel? Or was it Nextel and then it became Nortel? Was it?
So,
There was just Nextel then, right?
I had T-Mobile a long time ago before smartphones, and I liked them. I never will go to Verizon because it's, to me, they're in the same group as Apple. They're overpriced for what they're offering, so I'll never go to Verizon. Sprint. I tried Sprint while I was an over-the-road truck driver, and I'll be completely honest with you, they sucked horribly. And so I went back to T-Mobile. AT&T, in my opinion, is not any better than Sprint, honestly.
Okay. Well, I had AT&T a very long time ago. Very, very long time ago. And it was not any good. I had them for a month, got rid of them. I went to Nextel. Before Sprint bought them out, I went to Nextel. And I had Nextel for the longest time until they got bought out by Sprint. But I still kept my same phone. I had the same phone for almost 7 years. Never had to change my phone. And it was the old Nextel phone that you had to click the side button to do the push-to-talk. so you can use it like a walkie-talkie, but over the course of the whole United States. And all of my drivers had them. I bought each one of them a phone. We never had to upgrade the phones. They were the old candy bar style phones, open faces on them. You had to pull the antenna up on it. You know, had the little screen about yay big. You could send a text message, but you had to keep scrolling down to read the damn thing. It was like reading a Twitter message. But I had them for the longest time. And I ended up getting rid of them, well, when I switched to Sprint. Sprint started double billing me. And I tried to get them to fix it. They would never fix it. So I said, you know what? Go to hell. Keep your contract. I'm gone. So that's what I did. Contract was up. I never signed another one. I moved all of my business over to, what was the name of that little company? Metro PCS. And I had Metro PCS for a while, and then I just said, you know what, I'm done with technology, and I got rid of all the cell phones I ever owned. I got rid of all that crap. I got rid of all of it. You want to get a hold of me? I have a landline. Call me on it. It was that simple. But now, I'm married. I gotta have a cell phone. Oh, not the same type. Yep, then I met you. And we went with T-Mobile. And we haven't looked back. I mean, we're happy with what we got. $100 for 2 phones, unlimited everything, and $18 for the 2 phones for insurance. So if they break, we go get new phones. And if they don't have those phones in stock, then we get new phones. They upgrade the phones for free. So I can't complain with that. Hush! Really, lady? Seriously? My phone got ran over by a car. It did nothing to the internals of this phone. The internals of the phone were perfectly fine. Just the screen. Smashed the screen to hell, but the rest of the phone was fine. Didn't even bend the phone. Just smashed the screen because it fell screen down and there was a few rocks that had pointy ends. Straight up. So they got run over and crushed them. So needless to say, we're happy with them. Alright, so, Murder, it is 8:30. Would you like to continue, or would you like to wait until next week for the other stuff?
It don't matter to me. Ain't like I get shit to do.
Well, let's talk about Boeing CEO. This is on a website called IFL Science, or I fucking love science is the name of the site.
Oh god, I thought it stood for something else.
Like what?
I fondle lesbians.
Science!
The science of fondling lesbians.
There's a theory behind that, right? What's your hypothesis?
I guess. I haven't read the article yet.
On that?
It's probably it's probably one of those jobs you need to call micro for.
Alright, so Boeing CEO says that they'll feed Elon Musk's SpaceX to Mars. Elon said, do it. The gauntlet has been thrown.
For those who might not know who Elon Musk is, he is the he's the founder, co-inventor, president and CEO of Tesla, who makes the all-electric cars.
Yes.
And he is at this point right now, which isn't very long since Tesla has been around. He is a billionaire at this point.
And he's taking on Tesla's legacy. He's building upon that is really what he's doing, and making billions of dollars because of it.
Oh yeah, I think it's awesome what he's doing. It's crazy how fast it's happened.
It's almost like he's got a connection with Tesla, like, you know, on that level. He talks to Tesla every night, you know, type thing. They hash out everything, and then Elon says, "Okay, I'll put that into play," and Tesla's over there going, hee hee hee, you know. He's like over there going, hee hee hee. The hell with you, Chase Manhattan. If you all know, Chase Manhattan is the one that pretty much sent him over the edge with their bullshit. Because he wanted to make things free, and they're like, no, it needs to be paid for. Thank you, Thomas Edison, for screwing it up for the rest of us.
Thanks, asshole.
So anyway, basically, in the tweet, Elon says, do it. Boeing then turns around and says, game on. I'm thinking, yes, both companies have the ability to create something that's going to get to Mars. But
why not do it together?
My point I was going to bring up, exactly, Murder. Why can't they just put their heads together, come to a common goal of showing everybody, look, we're two different companies, but we can work together to get a common goal done. And they could get it done faster, more than likely.
I mean, they both have great technology. They both have great scientists, great minds, great inventors, and they both have shit tons of money to throw at this thing. Do it together, get it done a whole lot faster, a whole lot better. I mean, it's smart. Don't make it a contest.
Yes. Now, further down in the article, I was just reading it over again. I actually missed this part. It says right here, I think this is the International Astronautical Congress stated that I think it's actually much better for the world if there are multiple companies or organizations building these interplanetary spacecraft. You know, the more, the better. Well, yes, if you have more of them doing that, that is great. But, like Murder said, if they were all working together, instead of having a who's got the biggest dick complex, you could get more done.
Oh, I'd win that one anyway. I ain't got the money, but I'd win the other contest.
You know, I'm talking like a hamster.
But yeah, okay. So this is the way I see it. And some people, you know, I've talked about something similar to this before, and people laugh. Star Trek is fucking real, people. Laugh if you want to. Think about all the shit that they've had in Star Trek. Captain Kirk flipped the little thing up and said, doo-doo-doo-doo, and talked to the ship. There's Nextel.
I was going to say
right?
that.
We had that shit already. All right. All these handheld devices and shit they've had for years. All right. Before we even came up with fucking touchscreen monitors and shit, Next Generation had touchscreen monitors on the ship, on the bridge, controlling everything. Now, look, we've got it. Okay, look, Star Trek's real.
Well,
so in the mindset of keeping Star Trek real, look, things have got to be done together. There's a federation. In Star Trek, the world came together as one to start space exploration. Then the Vulcans found out and started helping them. So why compete? Yes, it's better if more companies, you know, out there are trying to build. Yes, why not build together?
Yeah, exactly. Now, one of the biggest things is ion propulsion. That is something that they have been working on currently, right now. NASA is working on ion propulsion systems. they're not that far off from what you're seeing right now. I'm going to say, in the next 100 years, you're going to see interplanetary travel like it's nothing in the next 100 years. Especially if you've got guys like Musk and, I forgot the guy's name at Boeing, but you got guys like this who are putting their money where their mouth is to do these things. You're going to see interplanetary travel, like I said, within the next 100 years.
I'd like to see it in my lifetime, honestly.
I would love it. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I would like to see it. Now, the current ion propulsion systems, ion thrusters based on the NASA design, are now being used to keep over 100 geosynchronous Earth orbit communication satellites in their desired locations. And 3 M-Star ion thrusters that utilize Glenn-developed technology are enabling the Dawn spacecraft that was launched in 2007 to travel deep into our solar system. Dawn is the first spacecraft to orbit 2 objects in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, the protoplanets Vesta and Ceres. Ion propulsions. I mean, you're looking at what? Ion propulsion going into the next spaceship, right? To propulse it. I mean, you're going to have to, either one, you're going to have to build it here on Earth and send it up, or you're going to have to build it in space and then just let it go.
Yeah.
More cost effective to build it in space, obviously. So, prototype here on Earth, but actual building it and launching it will happen from space. Which means they're going to have to build a space station.
Now, speaking of space and space stations, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, go see Geostorm. Good movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I was thinking about it.
Good movie. It deals with an international type space station. I don't want to say too much of it, but yeah, go see it. On the thought of needing to come together and build things like interplanetary space travel. And speaking of movies, something along the, if anybody's seen Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, that's what we need to do.
Yeah, now see here, Kuga says, from my point of view, it's great if all of them work together, but when brainstorming, it is best when there are a few groups that are split into to come up with ideas instead of one, because competition is required to get more ideas out. Well, and that's where you have think tanks. You're going to have think tanks no matter where you're at. So you're going to have, okay, these people are going to think tank this portion of things. These people are going to do this. These people are going to do this. Who comes up with a better idea first? But it's not only down to, okay, it's a spacecraft. No, you got to look at who are you going to send? What are you going to send? What are the living conditions going to be like when you send them? You know, you got all of these things that you have to take into consideration. Because you know that it's going to take, a year to get to Mars?
Oh, I think it's more than that.
You know, if it takes a year, we'll just throw a year out there right now. If it takes a year, that all those people that they choose are going to have to go through all of that training to be able to get onto that ship to travel that 1 year to get to that one area. Now, if they're smart, they're going to have contingency plans upon contingency plans upon contingency plans to make sure that that's going to happen. So you're not looking at anything that's going to take a year or two to figure out. You're looking at something that's going to take 5, 10 years to figure it all
out. They're estimating that a trip from Earth to Mars takes about 300 days.
Okay, so a year.
So just under a year.
A year was good. Okay.
Yeah, about 10 months is about what it'll take you to get there.
So, needless to say, you're looking at anything and everything that could happen. So you're going to have all these different think tanks thinking, okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And what happens if this happens? What are we going to fall back on? So, yes, you're going to need all these different brainstorming think tanks, but there's going to be so many of them because you're going to have to compartmentalize each and every aspect. One for the ship, one for the actual environment that they're going to live in. Then, what about when they actually get there? How in the hell are they going to survive when they get there? How are they going to get down to the planet? How are they going to get back off the planet? All of these things are going to have to come into play when they're doing all this think tanking. So yeah, you're going to have brainstorming away from each other. You're going to have tons of ideas, like you said, Cougar, but when it comes down to it and they start doing this, you're going to have so many people sitting in these rooms thinking and thinking and thinking and getting bed sores because they're going to be sitting on their asses for so long. That when it does come time to put that technology into place and to actually start building it, well, that's when the theories have to come out of the woodworks in order to get the stuff done. And yes, you're going to see an uprise in jobs, I can tell you that. You're going to need a lot of manufacturers to come together to create these machines. And you know the government's going to put their fingers in and want a piece of that pie.
If enough corporations come together, okay, like Tesla and Boeing to start with, if other companies interested in it would work with them. So if we had enough privately owned corporations, okay, Boeing is privately owned. They may be publicly traded on the stock market. They're privately owned. They have a board, CEO, same as Tesla. If enough privately owned corporations came together, they could keep the government out of it.
They could. Now, if you get Corning, Dow Corning, to get into the mix, right there you've got your outer shell for heat taken care of already. You don't need anything else. Unless there's somebody out there who's got something better than them. But I can't think of them. And the guys that developed those sleep number beds, you're not invited to this. You fuckers can go on down the road. I had to say my piece on that one. I can't stand them. Oh, so she's typing. Yeah, I don't think so. Wrong me once, that's it. Done. So anyway, peeps, look forward to our little mini-series of Bitcoin, our talks, our reviews, and all those little things that are just going to mash together, and just maybe, Murderer I hit the big jackpot and we mine ourselves a coin, and we don't get no help from the pool. And if it's a Bitcoin, we're rich. If not, oh well, we tried. And, keep an eye on this net neutrality thing. Keep a big eye on it, please. You'll start seeing more and more things going up. The head of the FCC has already started bashing the people who are telling him that he needs to listen to the people and not do his own thing. So, yeah. We'll see about how that comes about in these next couple of days. Keep looking up to the NASA website. Looking at all of their updates on all of their Hubble telescope pictures, you name it, the missions that they got going right now. Keep up to date on that kind of stuff. You'll be surprised. One day you might read that there's going to be a meteor headed straight for us, and they're going to call me a murder away, and we're going to have to pilot our own ships up onto the thing and sacrifice ourselves for the greater good.
Sacrifice you for the greater good. Push you out the damn window and fly away.
You know I would do it too. I'd be the first one off that damn thing. As long as I know my kids and my wife are safe, I don't give a rat's ass. I'll sit down on that planet with that little thumb. Click.
Yeah, the Armageddon plot. Yeah.
Armageddon. Check. What was the name of that other one? And they came out at the exact same time, and the one had to change their plot for the movie. Had Elijah Woods in it. Oh, hell. Deep Impact. That was the other one. They both came out roughly at the same time, and one had to change their plot story because of the other one had already had it, and it was out getting put into already being released to movies, theaters and stuff, so the other one had to quickly change this and change that, and do this and do that. But basically they had to mine, drop a nuke, and fly away. And needless to say, Deep Impact, they all died on the shuttle. And on the other hand, you had just, what's his damn name? Armageddon guy. Yeah, Bruce Willis. Affleck. Didn't keep Affleck. They should have left his ass on the planet and brought Bruce back. I wouldn't even let my daughter near anyone like Affleck. He's a douchebag. Okay, peeps. Well, we've said our piece here. We've done our things. We've come. We've saw. We've conquered. Oh, here we go. Hold on. What did I miss? Armageddon plotline. Yes, yeah. Okay. I'm already plotting my interplanetary ship. Oh, piloting. Yeah, I know you are, Scorp. Yep. Alright, peeps. Let me go through a few things here, and then we're going to cut out. Now, as you can see, throughout the stream, there were little messages going up and stuff of the sort. We are going to have a game.
Yeah, I know. Somebody needs to get a bot.
I'm working on it. My damn bot took a shit on me because I'm stupid. Anyway,
I just picture a bot taking the shit like nuts and bolts coming out.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. And pissing lubricants. Alright, so anyway, we're going to be having a game giveaway once the CNG Gaming Facebook receives 100 followers. And we will then take out of those followers, we will then put your name in the random generator, and whoever wins, wins. And we do have CNG Cares going on this month for 2 separate charities. One for the NCO Club Christmas Fund, and the other one for the National MS Society. And if you go to the link, you can go to those.
And
What's that?
I was saying, and on a side note, Kuga is not allowed to enter the drawing.
Which drawing?
Because he wins any of them. Because he
Oh,
wins
that's true.
everything.
He does. He is like one of the luck. Take his ass to Vegas. That's what needs to happen.
We need to. Hell yeah, we can fly Kuga out here and take him to Vegas. Be like, look, here's $200, dude.
Go make us some money. But yeah, once we hit the 100 followers, we will be having a giveaway on my channel, the Battle Pally channel. Once we hit the 1250 mark, we're gonna have a sizable giveaway as far as that's concerned. Let's see, are we going to do it at Christmas or are we going to do New Year's, another giveaway? We're going to do it at New Year's, right? Okay, New Year's we're having another giveaway. That's going to be a pretty decent sized giveaway for the new year to start somebody off fresh with the New Year's with some games and stuff. Slots are not rigged as much as programmed.
I don't know. We need to go play tables, card
I love
games.
playing craps, though. I love playing craps. Craps,
So does your bot,
yeah.
apparently.
Blackjack, I'm not really too good at blackjack. Now, I play some frickin' Texas Hold'em. I'm pretty decent at that. Oh, jeez. Her and her Wizard of Oz. She goes into the casino, skipping and hopping, going, we're off to see the wizard. Yeah, I can see it happening. So anyway, alright peeps, if you guys have any questions, hit us up on Facebook, on Twitter, on Discord, or if you have us on our other Twitch channels, you can send messages through Twitch as well. And I know after the beginning of the year, Murder's got a, what's the word? Yeah, that's
an
the
announcement?
word. An announcement to happen after the beginning of the year, depending on how the dice fall. Next week.
Yeah, I'm still pre-planning a bunch of stuff with that too.
But yeah, we're gonna there's a lot that's gonna be happening, and somebody can't spell Twitch properly. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna have to go fire that guy. He spelled Twitch wrong. He spelled it Twtich.
Twitch.
Whatever. So anyway, still fire his ass.
Oh, the raspberry is running.
Damn. So, peeps, we will have information for you come next week. Tune back in. Tell your friends about the channel. Have them come in. Have them sit down. Have them listen. Have them ask questions. And if you guys have questions outside of these discussions, feel free to hit us up in Discord or whatever, and we will get you answered as quickly as we can. Alright? Well, it's like I always say, peeps. Friends don't let friends game alone. Peace.